Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Frank Penolver. First of all, I want to apologize because it's been a little over 2 weeks since I last posted, and the reason for that is I took a trip to El Paso and New Mexico with my fiance because her aunt lives out there, and rather than trying to find things to vlog about, I decided to just take that time and spend it with family. Also, I did want to give a huge thank you to the 100 people who have subscribed to me. I wanted to do my own separate video for that, and I probably will, but I just can't believe there's 100 people who care enough about my life to hit the subscribe button. I know 100 seems like a very low amount, and it is, but to me it means the world because I don't really have a niche like, you know, makeup or photography or whatever it is. I just kind of do a whole bunch of random stuff. It just blows my mind that there's 100 people who are like, yeah, I want to see more content from you. So thank you for the 100 people who have subscribed. Please know that I appreciate each and every one of you, and yeah. Okay, let's get down to business though. I actually don't know how to start this video. Let's go back about 6 to 8 months ago. Around that time, I remember after I showered, I could start seeing the scalp on the top of my head. I wasn't really worried about it. I just assumed my hair was thinning a little bit maybe, or maybe it was just like something after a shower. And I actually got confirmation because I remember looking up on Google like, hey, is it normal to see your scalp after you take a shower? And I did see a blog where somebody said, you know, your hair isn't necessarily falling out if you can see the scalp of your head when it's wet, because your hair is kind of clustered together, and so you'll see more of your scalp. I also saw an article that said, you know, when you start turning 30 and above, your hair may start thinning, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll lose it. Now, I do have an older brother who has completely lost his hair. My dad is missing a lot of his hair. On my mom's side, my grandpa, for example, he went through chemo and never lost his hair. From what everybody was telling me, they're like, oh, you have your grandpa's hair, you're not gonna lose it, So again, I wasn't too worried about losing my hair. The problem is, if you jump forward, week by week, I just kept my eye on it and eye on it and eye on it, and I just obsessed. I obsessed with it enough that I started looking up all kinds of information online, whether it was Hims or Keeps or whatever, up to different treatments that you could do at home or what vitamins you should take. There was just so much information that I really didn't know where to get started. Before I get started, let me actually show you what my hair was looking like. Here's actually a photo of me after working out. So my hair is just barely wet, you know, from sweat, but it's really not wet. And you can really see where the top of my head, it's starting to thin out. So as you can see, it's starting to thin at the top. And the thing is, right now, if you're looking at me directly, you couldn't tell. Now, I do have high widow's peaks, but I was just born that way. I'm not really losing it from the sides up here. It's really from the top. Now, when I do my hair like this, you know, I'm kind of brushing everything backwards, and you would have zero idea. And truthfully, when my hair's dry, you can't really tell all that much. Anyways, to go back to the point about doing all my research, one of the things that I kept seeing is, you know, if you do preventative stuff now, you may be able to hold on to what you have rather than, you know, really losing it and then trying to gain it back. That's almost impossible. So that's why I decided to do something about it about a couple of weeks ago. I'll let you guys know about the treatment that I'm in and all that kind of stuff here in just a second, but I wanted to explain why I am doing something about it. I know that being bald is not going to be the end of the world. I get that. But for me, it's like a big identity thing. For example, I've always been complimented on my hair, and it's one of those things that like I use to define myself. And I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense, but it's just such a big thing in my life that I want to try to keep it. I want to work as hard as I can to at least try to keep it. I know it sounds like hyperbole, but it really is traumatic, and I know there's way worse things that could happen to somebody. I could lose an arm or something like that. I get that. But I do have friends who started losing their hair at 16, or they're losing their hair now, and they feel the exact same way that I do. It's a very traumatic thing. And I guess for me, it's a little more traumatic because I'm already 5'4". I'm really short, and I'm a little overweight right now. So like losing my hair is going to be like the short, fat, bald guy. And it's not that something's wrong with being that person. It's just, that's not how I see myself in the mirror. I want to see myself the way I think of myself, if that makes sense. And so for me, again, I just want to fight to try to keep what I have. I really didn't want to get too in depth about how I feel about it, so I'll just leave you with that. So after all my research, I knew that there are a couple of medicines out there that I could try and take, but I didn't really know which one I needed. And I also wanted to get confirmation that I was starting to lose my hair. So what I decided to do was find the best dermatologist that I could find here in Dallas who who deals with hair loss. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Anyway, so I set up an appointment and we looked at my hair under a microscope, and he could show me, the back of my hair here in this area, which is where all men keep their hair there for the most part. He showed me how full and rich it was there, and then when he came to the top of my head, you could see that there wasn't as much hair up there, so it's a sign that I'm starting to lose it. We went over like a 30-minute PowerPoint, and he kind of told me about the 2 medicines that exist out there. Now, I don't want to get too into it, but from what he was saying, right now there's only really 2 medicines out there. Neither will grow your hair, but they may keep what you have, so it's good that I came in early. I asked him questions about biotin and all this stuff, and he's like, that's all gimmicks, or like DHT shampoo. He's like, that's all gimmicks. There's really only 2 things you can do out there that are really gonna help you preserve your hair. The first option that he gave me was a drug called finasteride. It comes, I actually have it here. It comes in this pill form, and I only have to take it once a day in the mornings. So finasteride does 2 things. One, obviously it's gonna be a preventative for me to continue to lose hair. But the other thing that it does for, I think he said around 50%, 60% of his patients, is that the thin, wispy hairs that I have now, they will fall out and a new, stronger, fuller hair will grow from it. So again, it's not growing new hair, but that wispy or that wimpy kind of hair that I have up here will regrow, or has the potential to regrow as a thicker, fuller hair, giving me the appearance that it's fuller. The second option, I forget the medicine name, but it's basically Rogaine. He basically said you could do either the pills or the Rogaine or both. It's just whatever my budget allows for. I ended up opting for just the finasteride just because it's an easier thing for me to keep up with. I can just have it for breakfast every day and I'm good to go. He did say that finasteride takes about 9 months to a year for you to see the pill working. So if we decide later that it's not working as well as we'd like, we can start using the Rogaine on top of the finasteride as kind of a 2-punch combo. It can start getting really expensive because it's an everyday thing. But like I said earlier, I want to do everything I can to at least try to keep it. If it still goes away, then okay, at least I knew I did everything that I could. Now the doctor did say that he's seen a lot of success stories, about 90% in his clinic with just the finasteride. So I'm hoping that's kind of what happens to me as well. In fact, actually the doctor has a full set of hair, and he said that all of his siblings and father all look like Larry David. And he said that he's been on finasteride for like the last 10 years or so when he first turned 30, and he's got a great full set of hair. He hasn't done any transplants or anything like that, so it's just his hair, and he says he takes it every single morning, and that again, he sees about 85-90% of his clients who come in have a lot of success with it. So again, I'm hoping that's me as well. Anyways, I wanted to try to keep this video short because I really don't know how well this is gonna work for me. I just wanted to put that out there because if there's ever anybody, both men and women, who start losing the hair, I really would seek out finding a dermatologist who can prescribe you one or both medicines, because those, as he was saying, those are really the only 2 things you can do preventative to stop your hair loss. I also really didn't want to get too in depth about how I feel about it because I don't know if 9 months from now I'm still going to be losing my hair or if it has stopped. So I want to revisit this video like 9 months from now, a year from now, and let you guys see the before and afters. But as of right now, I just started 2 weeks ago on this medicine. He said around 8 to 12 weeks in, my hair will start to shed a little bit, but that's actually just the thin hair falling out for that new hair to come back. So if that actually happens, it'll be a really good thing. So I'm actually looking forward to 8 to 12 weeks from now to see if my old wimpy hair comes out and the new stronger hair comes in. But anyways, that's kind of what's going on with my life right now, kind of a major kind of traumatic thing that's happening to me. So we'll just see what happens in a few months, and like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing. Please let your friends know about it, and other than that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.